Hey guys, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I want to go ahead and talk about some of the most haunted objects in the world. And the first object I want to go ahead and talk about is the Hands Resist Him painting. Now, this painting was painted back in 1972 by an artist named Bill Stoneham. The little boy in the painting is actually the painter himself. The little girl in the painting as well used to be a little friend of his that lived in the neighborhood. His parents took a picture of them in front of a glass door, and Bill went ahead and used that picture as a reference. That's how the painting was created. Shortly after the painting was created, an actor that was actually in The Godfather bought the painting, but it did not go straight to him. He did not receive the painting right away. It actually went ahead and shipped to somebody else. After that person ended up receiving the painting, he passed away. This happened to every single person that owned the painting. They would just go ahead and die in mysterious ways. They would help the people, so people did not know why they went ahead and passed away. A couple in California actually owned the painting at one point. They were totally thrown off by the painting. They went ahead and actually put it on eBay trying to sell the painting, but the ad came with the warning to go ahead and warn people of all the problems that came with owning this painting. At one point, the actual couple said that the little fingerprints or the little hands on the painting would actually go ahead and move at night, or they would completely disappear from the canvas. It also has been said that the little boy in the painting would go ahead and enter the room where the painting was hanging. Adults also went ahead and said that while looking at the painting, they would feel uneasy, like some invisible hands were like grasping their neck. And even kids, when they would go into the room where the painting was and look at it, they would get so scared they would run out of the room crying and like screaming, completely terrified of the painting. I don't know if this is true or not. All these like cursed paintings are something I don't really want to mess around with. Well, I was actually looking it up. I did start to get like this uneasy feeling, like right around right here, like it felt heavy and creeped me out a little bit, because I was feeling that just by looking at the picture, and then I started like read upon the story, and then it said that a lot of adults went ahead and got that same feeling I was feeling. So that really did creep me out. There was another person that actually said while he was trying to go ahead and print a picture of the painting, his brand new printer completely refused to print it. And that is kind of creepy. Like, you know, if like the printer is new, there's no reason why it should not go ahead and print. But that is still kind of creepy. It does freak me out, especially the feeling I started getting by looking at the painting itself, because it is kind of like scary, because that little boy, you can like tell like that he has like no feeling behind his eyes. It's just like blank, you know, like he's just staring into your soul pretty much, and that's really creepy. The next object is pretty famous. A lot of people know this object. There was a movie made about this object, and it's the Annabelle doll. Now, the Annabelle doll does kind of creep me out because it is still around, and I actually really do want to go see it. So hopefully I'll be able to one day. So the story goes that a woman that was shopping at a thrift shop bought a Raggedy Ann doll. She bought it for her daughter that was in college. The girl went ahead and put the doll in her apartment. Shortly after she put the doll in her apartment, her and her roommate started noticing weird things started happening with the doll. The doll would go ahead and appear in different rooms. It would change position. It just started getting weird because nobody will move the doll. They will leave the house and the doll will be in a completely different room. They would go ahead and notice that there were pieces of paper like around the house with little kid handwriting on it. They started to get really freaked out. They went ahead and got in contact with a psychic medium, And the media went ahead and told them that the doll was possessed by a spirit of a little girl that had died in the building. The medium also told them that the little girl liked the girls and that she wanted to stay with them. They thought that, since it was the spirit of a little girl, there was no harm of letting her stay with them. So they went ahead and gave her permission to go ahead and continue living in the doll and live with them. This went ahead and allowed the paranormal activity to get completely worse. It started to get stronger. At one point, the Annabelle doll actually went ahead and scratched one of their male friends, leaving vicious scratch marks on his chest and torso. And at one point, they actually saw the doll standing up, and that is completely impossible. Like, it's a rag doll, so how could it even stand on its legs, right? When they were not able to take all the activity, they actually got in contact with the psychic investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. They actually went ahead and figured out that the doll was not possessed by a spirit of a little girl, that it was actually possessed by a lying demon that was pretending to be a little girl to go ahead and get closer to the two girls to possibly go ahead and possess one or both of them. The girls went ahead and gave Annabelle to the investigators, and they have her in a glass box in their occult museum in Connecticut. And I really want to go ahead and see them, because to know that like the characters from the Annabelle movie and from the Conjuring movie are actually real people, and that they do have a museum of all the cursed stuff they went ahead and collected throughout the years is really, really interesting. I really want to go. It does kind of freak me out. I don't want to get like too close to the stuff, I don't want to bring something home with me or anything like that, but I really do want to go. The third object is actually from a plantation that's very famous. It's called the Myrtle Plantation Mirror. The Myrtle Plantation is a very famous plantation home. It is actually considered the most haunted house in the United States and possibly also the world. The plantation home actually went ahead and dates back to 1780, and it's built on sacred Native American burial grounds, so that's why it says that it did went ahead and disturb a lot of spirits. It is also rumored to be the house of numerous murders. It's said that a lot of the guests of the plantation have seen figures through the mirror, or have seen little handprints on the mirror, or just things looking back at them from the actual mirror. The Woodruffs were actually poisoned to death. A lot of the customs say that you have to cover up a mirror so the spirits do not get trapped in it. At that time, that mirror was actually not covered. So it's said that the spirits of the mother and children were actually trapped in the mirror, and you are able to see them on occasions. Like I said, you do see figures behind you or through the mirror. People take pictures and you see the little handprints, or you see someone behind you and there's nobody else with you. So that is very scary to go ahead and, first of all, go to a plantation that is built on Native American burial ground, and that is something you really never want to go ahead and do, because a lot of the Native Americans do go ahead and put curses on their burial grounds just in case they are disturbed, and in this case it was. So that does add a whole different creepy level to the whole plantation. And just to go ahead and think that the spirits of a mother and her children are stuck in the mirror is just really, really sad to me, because they are not at rest, and it just really, really sucks, and it's really sad just to think that those poor little kids are not at peace, and they're just wandering around trying to see what comes of them. The next item is the most haunted doll in the world, and this is the Robert doll. The Robert doll was it was just a doll that a mother gave to her child named Robert Eugene Otto. They lived in Florida. Robert, the little boy, when he received the doll, he named him after him. So he started going by his middle name. So you can go ahead and tell the difference, right? Eugene will go ahead and talk to Robert as he was a real person. Like a lot of kids at that age talk to their dolls and to imaginary friends, so they thought it was normal. But then when anything naughty happened, when any anything would break or something bad would happen around the house, Eugene would go ahead and blame it on Robert the doll. He did not stop talking to the actual doll as he grew up. He actually continued talking to Robert in his teen years. Even after he got married, he continued to talk to Robert as he was a real person. Eugene and his wife never slept in the same bedroom, but Robert the doll would actually sleep in the same quarters as Eugene. It is also said that Robert the doll is responsible for causing death. That is responsible for the death of Eugene's father that died shortly after the doll was brought into the home, and he was actually pretty young and very healthy person. He died in a mysterious way that nobody knew why. Also, it's said that he is responsible for the death of Eugene's grandfather, because shortly after his son died, Eugene's grandfather passed away as well. He was not a old guy, he was a pretty young guy, also very healthy, so there was no reasoning why he would go ahead and pass away. It's also been said he can curse people by looking at him in a wrong way, by insulting him, or when you go ahead and actually take his picture without permission. Right now, Robert is in a museum, and his caretaker was actually on an episode of My Deadly Possessions, and his caretaker actually took Robert the doll, and she explained that they get hundreds of letters apologizing to Robert because they went ahead and took his picture without permission, or they went ahead and insulted him in a way, and they just started to get really bad luck. As in, they started to get sick for no reason. Some of them actually got cancer out of nowhere. Just really horrible things started to happen to them. Some unexplained death of very close loved family members would happen. People just started feeling that they were completely cursed, so they would go ahead and write letters to Robert apologizing, begging him to take the curse off. No offense to Robert, because I don't want to actually get cursed by saying this, but he is a very unsettling doll. You do get a very unsettling feeling by looking at him, and I pray to God I don't get cursed by saying this. Like I said, he is known as the most haunted doll in the world, and possibly the most deadly. So that was all the items I have for you guys today, and I really hope you guys enjoy them. I do hope that you guys don't go looking for these pictures or these paintings, because I don't want anybody to get hurt. But I really do hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and give the videos a thumbs up. Please go ahead and comment below what you guys want to see, what you guys like, any suggestions or any thoughts that you have, and please go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Mwah!